What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on Futbol Asada. I'm your host, Andre, and unfortunately, no Chris today. This is a very last-minute YouTube episode because, as you guys can see from the title, we're going to be reacting to the roster that just got released this morning, so I had to immediately hop on and record a reaction to this. So before I get started, make sure to click the links down below to join our Discord, chat with us, follow all of our socials to keep up with our content. We'd highly appreciate it. And yeah, let's immediately get into it. So for those of you guys that don't know, Mexico will have two friendlies pretty soon this month in South America against club teams, one of them being River Plate and the other one being Internacional in Brazil. So for that reason, Mexico aren't going to call up European players and are only strictly calling up Liga MX players. So there's a lot of new faces in this roster. I'm pretty excited. There's a reason I'm wearing my Cholos jersey. You guys will find out very soon. But let's immediately get into it. Starting off in net, we got three goalies. So we got Tala Rangel, Chivas goalkeeper, expected. I think in Liga MX is very good. Unfortunately, he has yet to stand out for me when he gets playing time for Mexico. I don't think we've won a game when he starts in net, so hopefully he can change that. I'm convinced he'll start one of the games because if he gets playing time with European players, then he'll get playing time here. The next goalie, Andres Sanchez. This is a highly deserved call-up as well. He had a very impressive season with San Luis last year. Came up clutch against Tigres in the playoffs. Was easily the man of the match that game. His saves single-handedly kept Tigres out of the Liguilla, so well-deserved. And then we have Fernando Tapia at Tigres, a young player that 1 year ago, I'd say he would be the face of the national team when it comes to goalkeepers. But him joining Tigres, being like second string, not getting the minutes he deserves, it's kind of held him back a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think he's only 23. Goalkeepers could last until they're like 40 years old. So as long as he continues getting reps, he'll be a great goalkeeper. So good to see him there. And for the other players coming up, there was a lot of like problems with Liga MX teams letting some of these players or be allowed to be called up. So some of these players might not even be because of choice. It might just be because that's what they could have called up, because there's a lot of skeptical names in here, like 2 or 3 that I barely even hear of in Liga MX. So in the defense, the first one, we got Jose Castillo, Chivas defender. I really like him. It looks like he's going to have more responsibility this season now that Chiqueta has left Chivas. This guy can play right back, center back, left back, so very complete. The next center back is Victor Guzman, El Toro, ex-Cholos player. Big fan of him. He's had some call-ups from Mexico in the past. He's played before as well, but just like Tala Rangel, I haven't really been that impressed with him every time he plays for Mexico. I think he was the starter when we lost to Uruguay 4-0. He could be one of the main players in this team that could maybe captain the team. You never know, since he already has experience with the national team. Next one, Ramon Juarez. This is a new face. What a brilliant season he had last year for America. Had to step up because of all the defensive injuries America had last season. This is highly deserved, and he's one of those players that has great leadership, and in the future, I could see him captaining America and being a regular face in the national team if he gets to move abroad. I think he's already like 23, 24 years old, so he is kind of experienced already. Next one, Chiquete Orozco, the newly transferred Cruz Azul player. I'm very disappointed that he joined Cruz Azul because, like I keep saying in the past, he has more than enough capability to join a European team. The offers have been there, but I don't know what happened. If Chivas decided to sell him to get more money to a Liga MX team, I mean, we're never going to learn in Liga MX, aren't we? So good to see him there, and hopefully he has a great season at Cruz Azul. So then next transfer window, he gets sent abroad. Fingers crossed. Next one, a new face, Eduardo Aguila from San Luis. I personally haven't paid attention to him as much last year, but there is rumors of him joining like Liga NOS team in Portugal. Hopefully that could come true, but he seems like a very good defender. He's tall. Obviously playing for San Luis, they had a pretty good season last year, so he's here for a reason. The next face, Jesus Angulo, one of the recurring faces. I personally am not a fan of him, but I will admit against the U.S. in Guadalajara, he had a very good game. And since he's one of the oldest players on here, I'm pretty sure he'd be starting one of the games. So it's a whatever call-up right there, to be honest. Next one, Jesus Gallardo, another experienced player called up. I mean, not much to say. We've seen this guy for so many years. And it's gotten to a point where, I mean, he's just always there. And as much as we can complain that why is he still getting called up, I think I've taken my loss that he's just always going to be there. Oh, well. Next one, let's get to the midfielders now. Jose Ramirez. This one I was a bit confused about because that's a very common name, so I didn't know what Jose Ramirez it is. But I think it's Jose Ramirez from León, 29 years old, Another player I haven't really paid attention to in the past couple of seasons. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm excited to see him there. He's 29 years old, pretty random player. Let me know in the comments if you guys rate him, if he's any good or deserving to be in this team, or if he's just there just to fill up the roster, because I think his name is El Avión Ramirez. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Next one. Now, this is one of the exciting ones. 19-year-old Elias Montiel. I'm pretty sure this is his first ever senior team call-up. He will be, or I hope so, a starter in one of these games at least. We just saw how good he was for Pachuca last year, being one of the best players in the Intercontinental Cup against Real Madrid, against Botafogo. So highly deserved, and he deserves to be in this roster for the next couple of call-ups as well. Like, as long as he continues his form and maybe gets a move abroad. There's been a lot of offers and rumors, one of them being Galatasaray. So, yeah, good to see him here. Next one, Luis Romo, the newly transferred Chivas player, one of the experienced players in the roster as well. Yeah, not much to say. We've seen this guy for so many years already. He's in the same boat as Gallardo and Angulo, so not really much to add on right there. Continuing with the midfielders, Eric Lira, Cruz Azul midfielder. I personally don't rate the guy. I rated him way more at Pumas, but you can't deny the season he just had at Cruz Azul last year. He was a key part of that Cruz Azul midfield that was kind of unstoppable. And yeah, I guess he'll be one of the players that will most likely be starting as well due to his age and experience. Next one, Pedro Pedraza, a new face, Pachuca midfielder. 24 years old, also was a key part of Pachuca's run in the Intercontinental Cup. Has been a pretty regular face for Pachuca as well in the Liga MX, consistent starter. So I'm really excited to see. I'm pretty sure he's left-footed, so I'm excited to see what he does when he gets his moment to play. Now, the main one in this entire roster is my guy, Gilberto Mora, 16 years old, has potential to make history this international window if he gets to play, because Mexico's current youngest ever debutant record holder was 17 years old. This was like back in 1984. So if Gilberto Mora gets to play, he will become Mexico's youngest ever debutant at 16 years old. And I'd be so happy because he's a Cholos canterano. And like I keep saying, he's Mexico's next gem. I will not get tired of saying that. This guy is so complete as a midfielder, and the fact that he's 16 years old just pushes it to another level. So hopefully he gets to play. We also got Rivaldo Lozano. I think he's a Atlas midfielder. Haven't really paid attention to him as well, but hopefully he brings some excitement to the team, something new. And yeah, probably a player I need to pay attention to next season in the Liga MX as well. And the next one we got Jorge Rubalcaba. This player I'm not really a fan of. Last season, in the beginning of the year, him and Chino Huerta were tearing it up for a couple of games, but after that, he's kind of died down. He is a dual national player, but I think he's just there just to fill in the roster, to be honest. I don't rate him. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm completely wrong, but I don't really rate him that much anymore. And he's not like 21 or 22 or anything. I think he's already like 24. It's kind of crazy. And the next one, Jeremy Marquez. He's also a player that should have been called up a long time ago. When Atlas were being campeones, he was a key part to that team. That's when he should have been called up, when he was like 19, 20. Now he's like 24, I believe. He's good, but his time was way before this. But hopefully he gets his moment to finally play for the national team and get some minutes. Now let's get to the attackers. We got 4 of them. First one being Memo Martinez. I guess he's just there for the experience. He's like 30 years old now, 29. I mean, not much to say. We've seen this guy in the past couple of rosters. We saw him in the Copa America. Scored a couple goals in the friendlies before the Copa America. So, yeah, just random. Next one, Santiago Munoz. This guy is washed. I mean, there's not much to say for this guy either. We've seen this guy in the past. He was supposed to be one of these big prospects Mexico has alongside Jose Juan Macias. He went to Newcastle, and now he's back in Liga MX. I'm not really excited to see no more. I think his potential has run out, but let's see what he does in these call-ups. Raimundo Fulgencio. This is another random one. He had a pretty good season at Atlas, transferred from Tigres, and he's kind of elevated his game a bit. But, yeah, just another player that will never be in a call-up again, I'm pretty sure. He's only here because of the other European players that couldn't make it. Yeah, there's big players in Liga MX that weren't allowed to get called up, so I think that's another reason why Fulgencio's on here. And then the last one in this roster, another Cholos player, Efrain Alvarez. I'm very excited to see him. He's one of the most underrated players in Liga MX. I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. Well, now we're seeing he's getting links to America. I would be devastated if he transfers to America because I don't think he would have consistent minutes than what he is getting at Cholos. Very creative. His passing ability, crossing ability is top notch. He scored for Mexico in his last call-up, I'm pretty sure, against Bolivia. So hopefully he can get back another goal here. Overall, very excited to see him. But yeah, that was it for the roster. I'd give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like I keep saying, there's a lot of players that are missing here based off how random these games are playing against South American teams in January. I'm very excited to see some of these young players, but there is a lot of randoms on here. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this roster, what you guys rate it, who are you most excited to see, and who are you just like, well, what the fuck are they doing here? Mine being Jose El Avión Ramirez. Like, what is that? But yeah, click the links down below to follow all of our socials. Hit the post notification to be informed when we post our next episode next week. Yeah, we appreciate you guys for the support, and we'll catch you guys next week.